Hey, shout out to Ahmed for being here. First
Yeah,
time. Shout
Hey,
fucking
first time.
great to
right.
be back. Great
Shout
to
out,
be back.
bro.
Thank you guys for having me.
Shout out.
I'll be on the
Come
show
back
more.
soon.
Every time Ahmed says he'll be on the show more, that doesn't happen. So, but anyways, thanks for being here. Hello and welcome to the Boys Upstairs show. It's the Week 8 NFL show. Game one on slate here. Battle of New York. Jets at Giants. Total is 36.5. Jets are favored by 3. We're going to go ahead and give it to Samuel.
Blessed to be back for another week, as always. This game fucking sucks. Anytime there's an over-under or a total set in the mid-30s, it's either A, an AFC North game, or B, a complete dog shit game. We have B. Is Daniel Jones coming back this week?
No, Tyrod.
Oh, great. So that makes me even more confident in my pick. I'm going Giants +3 here. I don't know. I like what I've seen from Tyrod so far. He's a fighter. I don't think the Jets are going to come out and handle this game. I don't think they're that great of a team. They are coming off a win from the Eagles in a 2-week break, so who knows? They might have a little bit of a hangover from that. Like I said, this total 36.5 or whatever. That's way too low to try to touch that. But I do like the Giants here, not for any super particular reason. It's just it feels like a game that the Giants are going to keep close and possibly win.
I disagree with Sam. I'm taking the under. I'm taking the Giants. I love Tyrod. I always have. It's been well noted on the program.
But what do you mean you
And
disagree with me?
you said that you're not taking the under's too low.
Oh, yeah. I thought you thought I took the Jets. No, keep going.
2 bad offenses, and I think it'll be under. I think it'll be gritty. I think it'll be grimy. And I like Tyrod more than I like Zach Wilson. So give me the Giants.
It's good to be back. I like the Giants here, so I'm going to take the Giants +3, and I think it's going to be under. It's 36.5. I think that's way too many points for 2 great defenses. I think Zach Wilson sucks. Hasn't played great this year, even though they won a game against the Eagles. So I think it's just me a gritty-ass game, like Tommy and Sam already said.
I just want to say that I think it's crazy that he just called the Giants defense a great defense. I just wanted to say that before.
Looked good last week, but they also played the Commanders, so
I don't know. They've given up like 1,000 points this year, but like I digress. So this game is interesting because, like Tommy said, it almost feels like the Giants are a better team with Tyrod Taylor under center, as opposed to Daniel Jones, at least up to this year, this point this year. The offense looks a little bit more explosive. They're getting the ball downfield easier, and that's affecting the run game. With Saquon, I'm thinking taking the over. Jets coming off a bye. I like what I saw out of Zach Wilson the last couple weeks before the bye. I think he's going to continue to steadily improve, and they're going to, there's going to be more than 35 points scored in this game. I feel like that's a pretty safe bet to take here. So that's what I have. I have the over of 36.5.
I'm going to agree with most people. I'm taking the under. I think the Giants, they just won last week, 14-7. So it's very possible that both teams score once or twice this whole entire game. But I'm taking the Jets. That it doesn't matter if it's Daniel Jones or Tyrod Taylor. The Jets defense has been giving people fits this year, and I don't think it doesn't matter who it is. Even Josh Allen fell to it. So I think that they're going to struggle tremendously, and I don't think their defense is going to be able to keep them in the game. Like, they can't really rely on defense, which is what they're going to have to do. And I think Zach Wilson's been playing a little bit of ball this year. Played last like 2-3 games have been pretty good, and they just had a bye, so they've definitely had time to think about this matchup and figure out how to get a win. So I'm taking the Jets -3 in the under.
I got the Jets minus, and then
No, not yet. We're doing
oh shit! All right, Jets -3. No explanation needed.
Zach Wilson having sex with moms. And also, I hate the Giants. Jets have played a couple of good opponents decently well. Like, they only lost the Chiefs by 3, and to their credit, beating the Eagles, I think that speaks more than what the Giants have done this year. So I'm going with the Jets.
Game 2 on the slate here. One of those games where we're going to find out who's real and who's not real, potentially. Bengals are a little hot right now. 49ers are a little cold right now. Bengals are going to San Francisco. 49ers are -5.5. Total is 45.5. And we're going to give it to Ahmed.
I'm taking the Bengals +5.5. I'm also taking the under. 49ers are on 2 back-to-back losses, where the Bengals are heating up. I think, I'm going to be honest, this might be a hot take, but I think Brock Purdy is a fraud, and I think in the past 2 games it's been shown.
Oh,
I a lot of people compare him to Patrick Mahomes and one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. That is not true. He's surrounded by a bunch of studs. He has Christian McCaffrey around him. Debo's out. I think, he's on a cold streak right now. The 49ers are. I think this is another game they're probably going to lose, although I think it is going to be a defensive game as well. The Bengals are starting to prove themselves. I know a lot of people started, talking shit on them this season, but I think Joe Burrow is back, and I think it's the Bengals show this week.
Team. He
Go!
now.
Go
He's
move
not
to
just
Afghanistan.
Go to Nickson's room.
Yo, the face was crazy.
And when he gets up to leave, it goes right back to being smooth.
It was like,
You said on my laptop.
No, I'm all right. Room switch because my internet's bad. I'm taking the 49ers -5.5. Great team, great system. They're not going to lose 3 in a row 100%. Their team's too good. They have too many weapons, regardless who's taking the snaps back there. Sam Darnold's getting the start this week. Last year in 5 games, if you take away the one game where he beat the Saints, but threw 5 for 15 with 2 picks, threw for 1,100 yards, 62% completion percentage, was responsible for 9 touchdowns and only 1 turnover, and that was with a lot worse of a team than the 49ers. He's a veteran now. He's not just a kid anymore. I think he can do enough to get them the win. But I'm also taking the over. I think there's going to be some points scored in this game. The Bengals still have looked good, but the like I said, the 49ers are they're not some random 2-5 team. They're 5-2 with 2 close games that they could have won that were tough losses, and they're banged up a little bit. Debo and McCaffrey just came back. So I think the over, and I think the 49ers are gonna win this comfortably. I don't see them losing 3 tough ones in a row.
As it has been for the past 2-3 years now with the Bengals. This is around the time of the year where they start playing good ball after struggling the first couple of weeks. Joe Burrow's only seems to be getting healthier. Him and Jamar Chase obviously have that great connection. T. Higgins on the other side. The offense looks like it's starting to roll again. And coming from a Ravens fan, that's not what I want to see. But as a bettor, I would love to take Bengals +5.5 here. For the show, we were talking about a couple teams that were on Fraud Watch. The Bills were mentioned. The Lions were mentioned. I'm going to put another entry here and say that, just like Mo said, I'm going to put the 49ers on Fraud Watch this week, because if they mess around three straight losses, we're looking at a team that has a Super Bowl caliber roster. And they're going to have the same question marks that they had a couple of years ago with Jimmy G. Like, is this the quarterback that could take us to the promised land with Brock Purdy? Because the one thing you cannot do in a Kyle Shanahan offense, you have everything put on a silver platter for you. You have all the weapons. You have a great system. You just can't turn the ball over. And Brock Purdy, these last 2 games, have been turning the ball over at the absolute worst time, critical drives. It's not a good look at all for him. So, I'm putting the 49ers on Fraud Watch, and I think that the Bengals cover. I don't think that they win, though.
I'm going to follow Nickson because I agree with everything you just said. I do think the Bengals are going to cover this game, and I don't think they're going to win. I do think it's a very, very crucial game for the Niners. You can't lose 3 straight, especially with the team that they're supposed to be and what everyone's saying they are. I agree. Brock Purdy looks like shit. He's getting exposed. The Linsanity run seems to be over. You're seeing the memes everywhere of like Brock Purdy when Debo Samuel and McCaffrey don't take every screen he throws for 60 yards. It's true. I mean, yes, the guy knows how to play quarterback. He fits into Shanahan's system really well. But at the same time, he's got studs standing around him at every single corner. Every guy he throws to or hands the ball off to is a playmaker in some sense. His worst receiver is not Brandon Ayuk is his WR2, and Brandon Ayuk's a great receiver. I don't even know if he's
Jennings. Jennings is the worst.
You got Jennings too. He's good. But yeah, Brock Purdy has looked awful. I think this is a real, are you guys for real or are we pretending again? Game for the Niners that you got to prove it here. 2 losses, it happens. 3 losses for a team of that caliber, it shouldn't be happening. I think this one's going to be a little bit of a slugfest. I think it's going to go down to the wire. But yeah, I'm going to take Bengals +5.5. I don't see this game being a bigger margin than 6 points. And I'm also going to go with the over, as I think some points are going to be scored. A lot of people are paying attention to the defenses right now, 45.5. It seems like this one will go over.
I feel like right now the narrative is kind of like shifting. Like at the beginning of the season, like you guys were saying, Purdy was really hyped up, and now it's kind of like all the clips are of him throwing checkdowns and stuff like that and interceptions and stuff. And I'm not saying that I'm like trying to defend him or anything, but I also feel like he has been the same thing this whole time, and just because they've lost 2 games now, it doesn't
Oh, he
change.
has.
Like,
He has.
He's a backup quarterback. And
You
now
know,
he's-
no, I don't
yeah.
think I don't think he's back up quarterback. Like, he's literally the same thing that Jimmy G was, and Jimmy G was labeled a career winner. And it's like, okay,
Well, 'cause
Brock Purdy has lost 2.
Jimmy G is
Brock
better
Purdy's
than
lost
Brock
2
Purdy.
games out of however many he's played, like 20, and he's lost 2. So, like, I know that he has looked bad the last 2 weeks, but
Jimmy
at the same
G didn't
time,
have Jimmy G didn't have McCaffrey with him, which yes,
yeah, no,
he-
I mean, Jimmy G didn't have McCaffrey, which is true, but like Jimmy G had weapons, not as many as Brock Purdy does. But I do think that
Jimmy G
it's
made
like
a Super Bowl.
trying to say, well, the 49ers were 1 game away. They could make it this year. Like, I think that Brock Purdy is still good enough to do exactly what he needs to do to put this team in position. And just because they've lost the last 2 games doesn't mean that they won't win this game by more than 5.5. I think they will. 49ers have won 13 of their last 18 home games by more than 15. They played much better at home, something that you can't quantify really. But I think the Bengals are also a little bit not the same as like how you guys been saying the last couple of years that they are having slow starts and then they turn it on midway through the year. Like, we're already midway through the year right now, and they're at the last place in the division still. And I just don't think that they're as legit as they were last year. They're dead last in yards per play. That's like, they have the weapons in place to not be dead last in yards per play. So something's wrong. And I like the 49ers. I think they need to bounce back. I'm going to take the 49ers. I'm not going to touch the total. That's it.
Well, also being last place in the AFC North right now, what they're 3-3.
Yeah.
They're 3-3.
That's not, yeah, like that's not like being a 1-6. That's not like being the Cardinals or the Panthers, where it's like
Well,
you're.
yeah, I don't think that they're like that bad of a team either, but I also think that the 49ers are the best team in the NFL still. So
I don't think that the Bengals and the 49ers are going to score more than 46 points. I think it's going to go under, and I just have a weird hunch about it. So that's my pick.
Bengals are like looking better, but their heating up phase has been against. They stumbled by a Seahawks team, and that who's the other? They beat the Cardinals, bottom 4 teams in the league, almost 400 yards a game versus the Niners letting up like 318 or something like that. So that's the other side of the ball that no one's gonna, or the other side of the same coin that probably no one's thinking about is the defensive aspect. But I don't know. Niners haven't looked great in the last 2 weeks, but again, they played 2 scrappy teams that were hungry for wins, especially the Vikings. So I think they're gonna come back home to San Francisco. I think they're gonna cover. So yeah, I got the Niners minus 5.5.
it's time for the best part of the show. Time for the locks of the week. And we're going to start with Sam.
All right, I was waiting for this one, and my lock record this year is bad. I can't buy one, but here we are. It's a new week, and I saw a spread that popped out to my eyes, and it is Sunday Night Football. The Chicago Bears plus 9.5. I'm going back to it. That's a lot of points. That is a lot of points. Chargers are coming off of a tough loss to the Chiefs in Kansas City. It's at SoFi. The Chargers don't have any fans, though. I don't really think that matters. Under the bright lights, we're going to see Special Agent Bagent, Tyson Bagent, under the lights for the first time. He's going to be on the national scope here. And for some reason, I feel like the Bears coaching staff was just waiting for like a one-dimensional QB who they could control. I'm starting to think that they just don't have enough brain power to handle and game plan for Justin Fields. So they just need a guy that can do like 2 or 3 things well and just have him do that. Because last week they planned for him perfectly. He was throwing the ball out quick. They had a lot of quick passes, just short yardage and just grinding up the field. And it worked. And we've got Khalil Herbert and Roshan Johnson out on RB3 as a starting running back. Manhandled the Ravens with a backup quarterback and Dante Foreman starting at running back. Is very serviceable. Defense looked really good. I know it was Brian Hoyer, but Jalen Johnson, absolute monster. Keep an eye out for him. He's going to be all over the place in the secondary. Might be getting Eddie Jackson back. Not sure. Khalil Mack revenge game. That is the thing that scares me the most. He put up 6 sacks against his former team, the Raiders, in the last revenge game he played. But I'm riding with my boys here. Tyson Bagent. He may not be a QB1, but he's going out there and he's playing his heart out. And the kid can
Zero.
like, he's got some talent and he's athletic, and he does his job. So you know what? It's ready to get hurt. It's a double whammy. If it doesn't work out, we lose. I lose everything. But I do, in all honesty, think that we cover 9.5 points in this game.
I don't know why before the show even started, we had somebody yapping about the Buccaneers are going to win this game. No, they're not. This is Josh Allen versus Baker Mayfield. Now, for Bijan Robinson.
I'm not even
Still-
gonna lie, you can't do 2 locks, so we'll just do
I
the
can't.
Bills.
Let me. It's my first.
Well, I
week
mean, if
back.
he could say a lock. I mean, like it doesn't have it
Yeah,
can't go
you
on
could
his
say
official-
it. I
It's
won't-
my
It can't go on the
first
official
back. I think I
card, but like
deserve it.
give your pick out to the
Yeah,
people.
give it to the people though.
All right, to the people. Bijan Robinson over 49.5. Best running back there is right now. I think he's going to run all over the defense. He's going to get over 80 yards. Calling it right
But
now.
he got 1 carry last week, or like 1 touch or something.
I
Oh,
thought he
really?
was hurt or something. Like they found out.
They
that
said he had like an illness or some shit, but they didn't like report
Oh,
it.
yeah. I did read about that. Still, take Bijan Robinson over 50.
So my lock of the week, Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Commanders. I'm going to take the under 43.5 here. Washington is 25-1 to the under in their last 26 home games. This is a divisional game. This is a grimy game. NFC East is a tough division. These are 2 good defenses. And I like the under here. I think that 43.5 isn't, I would classify as a lot of points, but it's in the 40s. And I think this is going to be a low scoring game. So I fully expect the Eagles to win, but give me the under 43.5.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Vikings on the road against the Packers. I like what I've been seeing out of Kirk recently. He really proved me wrong when they play Monday night or Sunday night. Which one, Monday night? Yeah, he really he impressed me Monday night. And I'm going to take him against the struggling Packers. Jordan Love has not, looked good at all for the Packers. Their offense is stagnant. And on defense, they have some question marks, especially in the front 7. So, and the Vikings look like they started running the ball efficiently last week for the first time. Addison was able to get in the open field. They got Cam Akers, as a new signing. So they got another toy to play with out the backfield. So I like the Vikings to go into Green Bay and kick some ass.
Texans -3. Panthers are ass. CJ Stroud's the truth. Been saying that for a while, pre being on the Boys Upstairs show, but say that my strategy of going Bills -8.5 worked beautifully and got my Patriots a nice win. So that was real refreshing.
I got the Steelers +2.5.
Wow.
Guess Trevor Lawrence has a bum knee or something. So yeah, Steelers +2.5.
Steelers defense.
So my lock of the week is the Rams Cowboys over. Not much needs to be said. 2 teams that could honestly score over 45.5 on their own. Rams offense is insane. Stafford, Cup's back. He's looked great since he came back. Puka Nacua has been having a great year. They've just looked really strong, and their offense, at least offensively, they look great. And their defense isn't anything special, so they definitely could give up some points. The Cowboys, they put up a lot of points. The Rams aren't a great team, so I feel like they're going to score easily this game. And their defense is pretty good, but the Rams do have an elite offense. And, I haven't seen anybody stop Cooper Kupp, really a healthy Cooper Kupp. So I think this is an easy over.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Tell your friends.
Hit the thumbs up.